Iago, The Strategies of Evil by Harold Bloom. Chapter 4. When I love thee not, chaos is come again. It goes as Iago planned. Desdemona petitions Othello for Cassio and receives a gracious reply. Othello, I will deny thee nothing, whereon I do beseech thee, grant me this, to leave me but a little to myself. Desdemona, shall I deny you? No. Farewell, my lord. Othello, farewell, my Desdemona. I'll come to thee straight. Desdemona, Emilia, come. Be as your fancies teach you. Whate'er you be, I am obedient. Exit with Emilia. Othello, excellent wretch, perdition catch my soul, but I do love thee, and when I love thee not, chaos is come again. Act 3, Scene 3, lines 91 to 100. The endearing, excellent wretch preludes Othello's fate. When he comes to believe that his love is betrayed, the primal abyss will swallow him, and Iago times the precise opportunity he has prepared. Iago, my noble lord. Othello, what dost thou say, Iago? Iago, did Michael Cassio, when you wooed my lady, know of your love? Othello, he did, from first to last. Why dost thou ask? Othello, but for a satisfaction of my thought, no further harm. Othello, why of thy thought, Iago? Iago, I did not think he had been acquainted with her. Othello, oh yes, he went between us very oft. Iago, indeed. Othello, indeed? Ay, indeed. Discernest thou aught in that? Is he not honest? Iago, honest, my lord. Othello, honest, ay, honest. Iago, my lord, for aught I know. Othello, what dost thou think? Iago, think, my lord. Othello, think, my lord. By heaven, thou echoest me, as if there were some monster in thy thought too hideous to be shown. Thou dost mean something. I heard thee say even now thou likest not that, when Cassio left my wife. What didst not like? And when I told thee he was of my counsel, in my whole course of wooing, thou criest, indeed, and didst contract and purse thy brow together, as if thou then hadst shut up in thy brain some horrible conceit. If thou dost love me, show me thy thought. Iago, my lord, you know I love you. Othello, I think thou dost, and for I know thou art full of love and honesty, and weighest thy thoughts before thou givest them breath, therefore these stops of thine fright me the more. For such things in a false disloyal knave are tricks of custom, but in a man that's just their close dilations working from the heart that passion cannot rule. Iago, for Michael Cassio I dare be sworn I think that he is honest. Othello, I think so too. Iago, men should be what they seem, or those that be not would they might seem none. Othello, certain men should be what they seem. Iago, why then, I think Cassio's an honest man. Act 3, Scene 3, lines 101 to 143. This is masterful. Iago directs Othello step by step into the borderland of doubt. The pacing is an intricate dance movement where only the instructor is adept. Like a slow learner, Othello cannot keep up, and his unease augments. Othello, nay, yet there's more in this. I prithee, speak to me as to my thinkings, as thou dost ruminate, and give thy worst of thoughts, the worst of words. Iago, good my lord, pardon me. Though I am bound to every act of duty, I am not bound to that all slaves are free to. Utter my thoughts. Why, say they are vile and false, as wears that palace whereinto foul things sometimes intrude not. Who has a breast so pure, but some uncleanly apprehensions keep leets and law days, and in sessions sit with meditations lawful? Act 3, Scene 3, lines 144 to 154. Leets are minor courts, and law days are when courts hold session. Even honest Iago entertains impure thoughts in his heart. Othello. Thou dost conspire against thy friend Iago, if thou but thinkest him wronged and makest his ear a stranger to thy thoughts. Iago. I do beseech you, though I perchance am vicious in my guess, as I confess it is my nature's plague to spy into abuses, and oft my jealousy shapes faults that are not, that your wisdom then from one that so imperfectly conceits would take no notice, nor build yourself a trouble out of his scattering and unsure observance. It were not for your quiet, nor your good, nor for my manhood, honesty, and wisdom, to let you know my thoughts. Othello. What dost thou mean? Iago. Good name in man and woman, dear my lord, is the immediate jewel of their souls. Who steals my purse steals trash. 'Tis something, nothing. 'Twas mine, 'tis his, and has been slave to thousands. But he that filches from me my good name robs me of that which not enriches him, and makes me poor indeed. Act 3, Scene 3, lines 155 to 174. This has become proverbial, a fearsome irony since it describes Iago's project. Othello. By heaven, I'll know thy thoughts. Iago. You cannot if my heart were in your hand, nor shall not whilst 'tis in my custody. Othello. Huh? Iago. Oh, beware, my lord, of jealousy. It is the green-eyed monster which doth mock the meat it feeds on. That cuckold lives in bliss, who, certain of his fate, loves not his wronger. But oh, what damned minutes tells he o'er, who dotes, yet doubts, suspects, yet fondly loves. Othello. Oh, misery! Iago. Poor and content is rich, and rich enough, but riches fineless is as poor as winter. To him that ever fears, he shall be poor. Good God, the souls of all my tribe defend from jealousy. Act 3, Scene 3, lines 175 to 190. Jealousy devours itself and mocks the green-eyed sufferer. Any cuckold is better off knowing, so that at least he casts off a false friend, whether wife or lover. Fineness or boundless wealth attends contentment. Othello characteristically insists on clarity and cannot bear a dubious existence. Why is this? Thinkest thou I'd make a life of jealousy, to follow still the changes of the moon with fresh suspicions? No, to be once in doubt is once to be resolved. Exchange me for a goat when I shall turn the business of my soul to such exsufflicate, and blown surmises, matching thy inference. 'Tis not to make me jealous to say my wife is fair, feeds well, loves company, is free of speech, sings, plays, and dances well. Where virtue is, these are more virtuous. Nor from mine own weak merits will I draw the smallest fear or doubt of her revolt, for she had eyes and chose me. No, Iago, I'll see before I doubt. When I doubt, prove, and on the proof there is no more but this: away at once with love or jealousy. Act 3, Scene 3, lines 191 to 207. The Moor rejects the misery of endlessly imagining suspicions, and resolves to settle the matter. He would choose to be a goat rather than brood on allegations that are exsufflicate and blown, inflated and fly-blown, and moves us with the noble simplicity of, quote, for she had eyes and chose me, unquote. Deftly Iago takes his general downward with the gradualism of a master. Iago. I am glad of this, for now I shall have reason to show the love and duty that I bear you, with franker spirit. Therefore, as I am bound, receive it from me. I speak not yet of proof. Look to your wife, observe her well with Cassio. Wear your eyes thus, not jealous nor secure. I would not have your free and noble nature out of self-bounty be abused. Look to it. I know our country disposition well. In Venice they do let God see the pranks. They dare not show their husbands. Their best conscience is not to leave undone, but keep't unknown. Othello. Dost thou say so? Iago. She did deceive her father, marrying you, and when she seemed to shake and fear your looks, she loved them most. Othello. And so she did. Iago. Why, go to then. She, that so young could give out such a seeming, to seal her father's eyes up close as oak, was thought 'twas witchcraft. But I am much to blame. I humbly do beseech you of your pardon for too much loving you. Othello. I am bound to thee forever. Iago. I see that have a little dashed your spirits. Othello. Not a jot, not a jot. Iago. I' faith, I fear it has. I hope you will consider what is spoke comes from my love, but I do see you're moved. I am to pray you not to strain my speech to grosser issues, nor to larger reach than to suspicion. Othello. I will not. Iago. Should you do so, my lord, my speech should fall into such vile success which my thoughts aimed not. Cassio's my worthy friend, my lord. I see you are moved. Othello. No, not much moved. I do not think, but Desdemona's honest. Iago. Long live she so, and long live you to think so. Othello. And yet how nature erring from itself. Act 3, Scene 3, lines 206 to 244. W. H. Auden considered Iago to be the apotheosis of the practical joker. I do not find that helpful. Think of the ancient as a doctor of the mind, who seeks not to cure but to afflict. Iago is a grandly negative theologian, whose aim is to wound God, and by degrees to degrade the divinity to nothing. His nice distinction describing Venetian wives is that their conscience is to show God their betrayals while concealing them from all others. The art of Iago is comprehensive. One of its effects is to render Othello unknowingly ironic. Quote, I am bound to thee forever. Unquote. The more means obliged, but the implication is that he and Iago are forever wound up in one fire. Sadistically, Iago twists the hurt. Quote, I see that have a little dashed your spirits. Unquote. Othello's, quote, not a jot, unquote, persuades no one. Iago is relentless. Quote, my lord, I see you are moved. Unquote. And again Othello weakly insists, quote, no, not much moved. Unquote. Holding on to a remnant of dignity, the Moor rather tentatively affirms his wife's chastity. Quote, I do not think but Desdemona's honest. Unquote. He undoes this with, quote, and yet how nature erring from itself. Unquote. Iago is quick to respond. Iago. Aye, there's the point, as to be bold with you, not to affect many proposed matches of her own clime, complexion, and degree, whereto we see in all things nature tends, foe, one may smell in such a will most rank, foul disproportion, thoughts unnatural. But pardon me, I do not in position distinctly speak of her, though I may fear her will, recoiling to her better judgment, may fall to match you with her country forms, and happily repent. Othello. Farewell, farewell. If more thou dost perceive, let me know more. Set on thy wife to observe. Leave me, Iago. Iago, going. My lord, I take my leave. Othello. Why did I marry? This honest creature doubtless sees and knows more, much more than he unfolds. Quote, why did I marry? Unquote. We are reminded of the Moor's reluctance to yield up his unhoused free existence. And we are Iago's students. We follow after a cunning analyst devoid of our inhibitions. Iago, returning. My lord, I would I might entreat your honour to scan this thing no farther. Leave it to time. Although 'tis fit that Cassio have his place, for sure he fills it up with great ability, yet if you please to hold him off a while, you shall by that perceive him and his means. Note if your lady strain his entertainment with any strong or vehement importunity, much will be seen in that. In the meantime, let me be thought too busy in my fears, as worthy cause I have to fear I am, and hold her free, I do beseech your honour. Othello. Fear not my government. Iago. I once more take my leave. Act 3, Scene 3, lines 245 to 274. We can marvel again at Iago's prodigious resourcefulness. Boldly he argues plausibly that Desdemona, who had not desired many proposed marriages with Phoenicians of her own hue and rank, was unnatural. Her sexuality was abnormally intense and craved novelty. It is likely then that she will recoil and may compare Othello with Phoenician standards of younger men, and perhaps repent her choice. In his return, Iago weaves his net more intricately. He urges Othello to think Desdemona innocent, prompting the Moor to protest his government or control of passion. Left alone, Othello delivers an anguished soliloquy. This fellow's of exceeding honesty, and knows all qualities with the learned spirit of human dealings. If I do prove her haggard, though that her jesses were my dear heartstrings, I'd whistle her off and let her down the wind to prey at fortune. Haply, for I am black, and have not those soft parts of conversation that chamberers have, or for I am declined into the vale of years, yet that's not much. She's gone. I am abused, and my relief must be loath to her. O curse of marriage, that we can call these delicate creatures ours, and not their appetites. I had rather be a toad and live upon the vapour of a dungeon than keep a corner in the thing I love for others' uses. Yet 'tis the plague of great ones, prerogative as are they less than the base. 'Tis destiny unshunnable, like death. Even then this forked plague is fated to us when we do quicken. Look where she comes. Act 3, Scene 3, lines 275 to 294. Even Iago could not have reduced Othello to this whining condition. His insecurities surge and maim his spirit. He says nothing for his love of Desdemona. Instead, Shakespeare resorts to the image of a haggard or trained wild hawk, whose jesses or fastenings, even if they were the Moor's heartstrings, could be loosed downwind and so released forever. He broods on his blackness and the lack of drawing-room graces and on his age. It is startling that he suddenly regards himself as abused or deceived. We wince when he says that loathing her may relieve his hurt pride. Again he curses marriage with its possibility of cuckoldry. This bad moment culminates in the ugly metaphor of this forked plague, implying both the horns of his cuckolded forehead and even an ironic quickening in which worms infest our corpses, thus cuckolding us even in death. Momentarily, Othello seems to rally when Desdemona and Emilia enter. Othello. If she be false, oh, then heaven mocks itself. I'll not believe it. Desdemona. How now, my dear Othello? Your dinner and the generous islanders by you invited do attend your presence. Othello. I am to blame. Desdemona. Why do you speak so faintly? Are you not well? Othello. I have a pain upon my forehead, here. Desdemona. Faith, that's with watching. 'Twill away again. She offers her handkerchief. Let me but bind it hard within this hour, it will be well. Othello. Your napkin is too little. Let it alone. Come, I'll go in with you. He puts the handkerchief from him, and it drops. Desdemona. I am very sorry that you are not well. Exit with Othello. Act 3, Scene 3, lines 295 to 306. It hurts us that the marvellous Desdemona is so unaware of entrapment. The forehead pain, almost tiresomely, returns to the cuckold's horns, and the handkerchief, which will prove to be fatal, drops even as she will fall to darkness on her bridal bed. Emilia, unknowingly courting her own murder by Iago, falls into his net. Emilia, picking up the handkerchief. I am glad I have found this napkin. This was her first remembrance from the Moor. My wayward husband hath 100 times wooed me to steal it. But she so loves the token, for he conjured her she should ever keep it, that she reserves it evermore about her to kiss and talk to. I'll have to work ta'en out, and give it to Iago. What he will do with it, heaven knows, not I. I nothing but to please his fantasy. Enter Iago. Iago. How now? What do you do? What do you here alone? Amelia. Do not you chide, I have a thing for you. Iago. You have a thing for me? It is a common thing. Amelia. Ha! Iago. To have a foolish wife. Emilia. Oh, is that all? What will you give me now for that same handkerchief? Iago. What handkerchief? Emilia. What handkerchief? Why, that the Moor first gave to Desdemona, that which so often you did bid me steal. Iago. Hath stolen it from her? Emilia. No, faith, she let it drop by negligence, and to the advantage I, being here, took it up. Look, here 'tis. Iago. A good wench, give it me. Amelia. What will you do with it that you have been so earnest to have me filch it? Iago, snatching it. Why, what is that to you? Amelia. If it be not for some purpose of import, give it me again. Poor lady, she'll run mad when she shall lack it. Iago. Be not acknowledged. Act 3, Scene 3, lines 307 to 336. Calling Iago a wayward or unstable husband, Amelia, who deeply loves Desdemona, decides to compromise by having the work taken out in a duplicate that copies the design. She thus regards herself as pleasing his whim or fantasy. With his usual unsavoury bawdiness, Iago calls the thing common, meaning a pudendum open to all comers, and tells his wife to stay out of his business. After he sends her away, he bursts into a brief and powerful soliloquy. I have use for it. Go, leave me. Exit Amelia. I will in Cassio's lodging loose this napkin, and let him find it. Trifles light as air are to the jealous confirmation strong as proofs of holy writ. This may do something. The Moor already changes with my poison. Dangerous conceits are in their nature's poisons, which at the first are scarce found to distaste, but with a little act upon the blood burn like the mines of sulphur. Enter Othello. I did say so. Look where he comes, not poppy nor mandragora, nor all the drowsy syrups of the world shall ever medicine thee to that sweet sleep which thou owest yesterday. Act 3, Scene 3, lines 337 to 349. I prefer the folio loose, which adds release to loose. Loose, which adds release to lose. There is fierce gusto in Iago's blasphemy, that to the jealous, trifles are confirmations as persuasive as citations of the Bible. Dangerous ideas work like poisons, initially seeming distasteful, but soon enough working upon the system and burning like sulphur. As Othello stumbles in, Iago's triumphalism is energized in, quote, I did say so, unquote. What follows marks a new distinction in the literary representation of sexual jealousy. Iago croons, with the relish of an art historian, his delight at the product of his researches. Not poppy nor mandragora, nor all the drowsy syrups of the world shall ever medicine thee to that sweet sleep which thou owest yesterday. I hear in that the birth of the high aesthetic sensibility of John Keats and Walter Pater. Neither opium nor the mandragora of the mandrake root ever can restore the sweet sleep that Othello owned just yesterday. Distraught, the Moor brokenly laments his fallen condition. Othello. False to me? Iago. Why, how now, General? No more of that. Othello. Avaunt! Begone! Thou hast set me on the rack. I swear 'tis better to be much abused than but to know it a little. Iago. How now, my lord? Othello. What sense has I in her stolen hours of lust? I saw it not, thought it not, it harmed not me. I slept the next night well, fed well, was free and merry. I found not Cassio's kisses on her lips. He that is robbed, not wanting what is stolen, let him not know it, and he is not robbed at all. Iago. I am sorry to hear this. Othello. I had been happy if the general camp, pioneers and all, had tasted her sweet body, so I had nothing known. Oh, now forever farewell the tranquil mind, farewell content, farewell the plumed troops and the big wars that make ambition virtue. Oh, farewell, farewell the neighing steed and the shrill trump, the spirit-stirring drum, the ear-piercing fife, the royal banner and all quality, pride, pomp, and circumstance of glorious war. And oh, you mortal engines, whose crude throats the immortal Jove's dread clamours counterfeit, farewell! Othello's occupation's gone. Act 3, Scene 3, lines 350 to 374. The enigma again is the Moor's fragility. How much sympathy can he evoke when prestige and not love is his concern? Infected by Iago, he has become rancid. All that matters are his feelings and his fear of lost renown. 6 farewells are the refrain in his lament for the big wars and their music, neighing steed, shrill trumpet, drum, fife, the banner of his honour, and what he lovingly calls pride, pomp, and circumstance of glorious war. Edward Elgar's pomp and circumstance marches, while stirring enough, fall short of the Othello music. Even artillery joins the celebration, counterfeiting Jove's thunder. The dying fall is Othello's occupation's gone. The thrust and parry between the Moor and Iago bruise the limits of Shakespearean invention. Iago. Is't possible, my lord? Othello. Villain, be sure thou prove my love a whore. Be sure of it. Give me the ocular proof, or by the worth of mine eternal soul, thou hadst been better have been born a dog than answer my waked wrath. Iago. Is't come to this? Othello. Make me to see it, or at the least so prove it that the probation bear no hinge nor loop to hang a doubt on, or woe upon thy life. Iago, until now, did not realize that it would be his life or Desdemona's. The burden of probation or proof is his. Iago. My noble lord. Othello. If thou dost slander her and torture me, never pray more. Abandon all remorse. On horror's head horrors accumulate. Do deeds to make heaven weep, all earth amazed, for nothing canst thou to damnation add greater than that. If Iago cannot make his case, his hope for salvation will abandon him, as Othello is a vengeful Christian. Horror upon horror will pile up until all the earth yields to it. Iago. O grace, O heaven, forgive me. Are you a man? Have you a soul or sense? God be with you. Take mine office. O wretched fool, that lives to make thine honesty a vice. O monstrous world, take note, O world, to be direct and honest is not safe. I thank you for this profit, and from hence I'll love no friend. Sith love breeds such offence. Othello. Nay, stay, thou shouldst be honest. Iago. I should be wise, for honesty's a fool, and loses that it works for. Othello. By the world, I think my wife be honest, and think she is not. I think that thou art just, and think thou art not. I'll have some proof. Her name, that was as fresh as Dian's visage, is now begrimed and black as mine own face. If there be cords or knives, poison or fire, or suffocating streams, I'll not endure it. Would I were satisfied. Desdemona's countenance and reputation, once as fresh as Diana's, patroness of the moon and chastity, have become as black as the Moor's. Iago. I see, sir, you are eaten up with passion. I do repent me that I put it to you. You would be satisfied? Othello. Would? Nay, and I will. Iago. And may. But how? How satisfied, my lord? Would you, the supervisor, grossly gape on, behold her topped? Othello. Death and damnation! Oh! Iago, recovering his stride, wounds the Moor with the disgrace of being a voyeur. I think of Faulkner's Popeye in Sanctuary slobbering as he beholds red-topping temple drake. It were a tedious difficulty, I think, to bring them to that prospect. Damn them, then, if ever mortal eyes do see them bolster more than their own. What then? How then? What shall I say? Where's satisfaction? It is impossible you should see this. Were they as prime as goats, as hot as monkeys, as salt as wolves in pride, and fools as gross as ignorance made drunk? But yet I say, if imputation and strong circumstances, which lead directly to the door of truth, will give you satisfaction, you might have it. Act 3, Scene 3, lines 375 to 425. Goats and monkeys are Iago's talismans. Innuendo and inference suffice for satisfaction. In his desperation, Othello resorts to pleading. Othello. Give me a living reason she's disloyal. Iago. I do not like the office, but sith I am entered in this cause so far, pricked to it by foolish honesty and love, I will go on. I lay with Cassio lately, and being troubled with a raging tooth, I could not sleep. There are kind of men so loose of soul that in their sleeps will mutter their affairs. One of this kind is Cassio. In sleep I heard him say, Sweet Desdemona, let us be wary, let us hide our loves. And then, sir, he would grip and wring my hand, cry, Oh, sweet creature, then kiss me hard, as if he plucked up kisses by the roots and that grew upon my lips, then laid his leg over my thigh and sighed and kissed, and then cried, Cursed fate that gave thee to the Moor. Othello. Oh, monstrous, monstrous! Iago. Nay, this was but his dream. Othello. But this denoted a foregone conclusion. 'Tis a shrewd doubt, though it be but a dream. Iago. And this may help to thicken other proofs that do demonstrate thinly. Othello. I'll tear her all to pieces. Act 3, Scene 3, lines 426 to 447. Outright lying betrays Iago's own fear and desperation. His absurd tale could fool only a maniac. The fabric of Othello gives way in his dreadful, quote, I'll tear her all to pieces, unquote, and Iago springs to his opportunity. Iago. Nay, but be wise. Yet we see nothing done. She may be honest yet. Tell me but this, have you not sometimes seen a handkerchief spotted with strawberries in your wife's hand? Othello. I gave her such a one. 'Twas my first gift. Iago. I know not that, but such a handkerchief, I am sure it was your wife's, did I today see Cassio wipe his beard with. Othello. If it be that. Iago. If it be that, or any that was hers, it speaks against her with other proofs. Othello. Oh, that the slave had 40,000 lives. One is too poor, too weak for my revenge. Now do I see 'tis true. Look here, Iago, all my fond love thus do I blow to heaven. 'Tis gone. Arise, black vengeance, from the hollow hell. Yield up, O love, thy crown and hearted throne to tyrannous hate. Swell, bosom, with thy freight, for 'tis of aspics' tongues. Iago. Yet be content. Othello. Oh, blood, blood, blood! Act 3, Scene 3, lines 448 to 468. Absolute collapse ends Othello as we have known him. An ugliness surpassing our worst expectations sweeps him to black vengeance. Iago, in total control, becomes the stage manager of a black mass. Iago. Patience, I say. Your mind perhaps may change. Othello. Never, Iago, like to the Pontic sea, whose icy current and compulsive course ne'er feels retiring ebb, but keeps due unto the Pontic and to the Hellespont. Even so my bloody thoughts with violent pace shall ne'er look back, ne'er ebb to humble love, till that a capable and white revenge swallow them up. Now by yond marble heaven, kneeling, in the due reverence of a sacred vow, I here engage my words. Act 3, Scene 3, lines 469 to 479. A parody of the Moor's great voice gives us the propulsion of his sadistic mania. His bloody thoughts flow with the icy current and will never ebb until his revenge is accomplished. He appeals to a marble heaven that disregards human pain. When he kneels, he is no longer a Christian or even sane, and Iago, in his magnificent genius, urges Othello not to rise and kneels facing him. Iago, do not rise yet. He kneels. Witness, you ever-burning lights above, you elements that clip us round about, witness that here Iago doth give up the execution of his wit, hands, heart, to wronged Othello's service. Let him command, and to obey shall be in me remorse. What bloody business ever? They rise. Othello, I greet thy love, not with vain thanks, but with acceptance bounteous, and will upon the instant put thee to it. Within these 3 days let me hear thee say that Cassio's not alive. Iago, my friend is dead, 'tis done at your request. But let her live. Othello, damn her, lewd minx! Oh, damn her, damn her! Come, go with me apart, I will withdraw, to furnish me with some swift means of death for the fair devil. Now art thou my lieutenant, Iago. I am your own for ever. Exeunt. Act 3, Scene 3, lines 480 to 499. Iago, happy enough to kill Cassio, still entreats for Desdemona's life. Why? We cannot know. It does not matter, since Othello, after giving Cassio to Iago, takes upon himself the murder of Desdemona. It is no less than stunning when we hear the interplay between, quote, now art thou my lieutenant, unquote, and, quote, I am your own forever, unquote. Iago is no longer to suffer from a sense of injured merit, and indeed has become Othello's demon, or genius.